Good morning, and welcome to our Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of San Miguel de Allende. Buenos días y bienvenidos a nuestra comunidad unitaria universalista de San Miguel de Allende. Thank you for joining us today. Gracias por acompañarnos hoy. In the knowledge of the space of the Pame, Chichimeca, y Otomí, I want to welcome all to this sacred and shared space. No matter what you believe, who you love, no matter your political preferences, race, gender, or spiritual background. Conociendo el espacio Pame, Chichimeca y Otomí, quiero darles la bienvenida a todos a este espacio sagrado y compartido, sin importar sus creencias, amores, preferencias políticas, raza, género o trasfondo espiritual. We encourage you to bring all yourself and embrace the diversity that exists and interconnects that bring us together today. Los animamos a que se muestren con todo su ser y a abrazar la diversidad existente y la interconexión que nos une hoy. We are Carla Espinoza, Susan McDonald, proud members of our fellowship and your co-service leaders for today. Thank you for choosing to be part of this meaningful gathering. Before we move into our service time, we would like to welcome our visitors, and we have few announcements. Somos Carla Espinoza and Susan McDonald, orgullosos miembros de nuestra fellowship y los colíderes de servicio el día de hoy. Gracias por ser parte de esta reunión significativa. Antes de comenzar nuestro servicio, le damos la bienvenida a nuestros visitantes y les compartiremos algunos anuncios. Tenemos visitantes el día de hoy, les gustaría ponerse de pie para que podamos identificarlos y darles la bienvenida después del café. Thank you for all these visitors, and I hope we have a chance to meet you, greet you personally after the service in coffee time. After the service, those in Zoom are invited to stay connected and visit with others in the main room for discussion. And if you're visiting, please type your name and how you heard of us and where are you from in the chat box so we can greet you later. You can go to our activities into the web page, and the link is in your order of services, reminding you the different activities that we have during the week and all the cool stuff that's happening in our fellowship. If we do record our Sunday in-person services, you can find the link to this in our website, UUFSMA.org. There are previous services, and you can also check all the things that we can provide. And if you have any questions or want to know more about us, there is the opportunity. No. No. We gather today to honor what brings us together, even in uncertainty, creating community, and taking actions within, bringing your whole self, creating our own certain ritual. As the light in the darkness, we light the chalice to symbolize this certainty that we are community. Nos reunimos hoy para honrar lo que nos une, incluso en la incertidumbre, creando comunidad y tomando acción interior, trayendo todo nuestro ser, creando nuestro propio ritual, cierto como la luz en la oscuridad, y convertimos esta luz de cáliz en símbolo de esta certeza que se construye gracias a la comunidad. Let's join our voices together in Psalm hymn 151, I Wish I Knew. I invite you to rise in body or spirit. Words will appear on the screen and in your hymnal if you want. And please remain standing for the covenant. Now, I invite you to all to join together in reciting this fellowship's unique covenant. This is a promise, what we aspire to, of how to be in relation to each other and the larger world. First in English by Sebastian, and then with Jerome leading us in Spanish.
Okay. We respect the interdependent web of life and work for a just and peaceful world. We encourage the search for truth and meaning, strive for compassion in our relationships, and seek values that will benefit our lives and the lives of others. This is our covenant.
Respetamos todos los estilos de vida dentro de su red interdependiente y trabajamos por un mundo justo y pacífico. Alentamos la búsqueda de la verdad y la comprensión total. Nos esforzamos por mantener compasión en nuestras relaciones y buscamos valores que beneficien nuestras vidas y las vidas de los demás. Este es nuestro convenio.
You can all be seated. Thank you. We won't make you stand the whole service. Carla will be helping me light the candles for joys and concerns. And this is an important time in our service when, as a community, we can share each other's burdens and their occasions for gladness. If you would like to share a joy or concern in a future Sunday, please feel free to send an email to Reverend Tom before that Sunday. If you're on Zoom today, you can put your concern into the chat box, and Diego will be watching for them and magically get them up here to me at some point. If you come in person, look for the joy and concern cards that are on that welcome table. You can fill them out, hand them to one of the greeters, and they'll make their way up front. So within our UU community, we always have opportunities to celebrate the joys we share and to let those who are bearing burdens know that we care about them and about the burdens they carry, and that we'll help if we can. There are a number of members recovering these past weeks from illnesses, surgeries, accidents, as seems to be very common here in San Miguel and everywhere. So I'd like to just remind us of all those who are in our hearts. Ellie Goodwin has begun feeling better, so we'll light a first candle for her, recovering from her difficulties with back pain, and she says she's begun PT and is feeling better. We want to wish Cynthia Klaus well after her fall and back injury. She was briefly in Hoya and is home now recovering. Arlena Lawrence, Theo Billings, and Janet Freed are recovering from their various surgeries. Some were planned and others not. And we wish them good health as they recover, poco a poco. Two members, Reverend Wyman Rousseau and Tina Lane, are living comfortably at Sophie Cares here in San Miguel. And we're grateful to have access to this sort of high-quality assisted living when we need it. Maxine Arnold, who is briefly at Sophie Cares, is back home and recovering, having round-the-clock help from a number of caregivers she's known for many years. And a real joy, of course, that Reverend Tom is up and walking well, continuing with therapy after getting his new hip in Massachusetts just a few weeks ago. We'll see him here in September. And Tom asked us to remember the wonderful Pride Day celebration over this weekend and to celebrate that as a joy, that we have an active and happy community of people, both LGBTQ and straight, who can celebrate together the freedoms we all take for granted. We celebrate that a longtime member's with us today. Marion Kerner was a UU member for many years. You want to wave from the front row? She's now been living, I think, in Florida for many years. She's back visiting for the month of July, and you will see her and enjoy her talents next Sunday when she will play the piano and grace us with a song as well. So welcome, Marianne. And our joys and concerns are not limited to those within our own community, but they extend to the world. The news from Texas, of course, of the hundreds of deaths and missing people from the flash floods in Carroll County are on our hearts, and we light this candle to share in their sorrow. It's unimaginable to us that so many of the lost lives were children. And in February of 2022, we began lighting our next blue and yellow candle to mark our solidarity with the people of Ukraine in their fight against aggression from Russia. We never imagined then that we'd be lighting this candle 3.5 years later. I think we've gone through 2 of them, or 3 of them so far. And nearly 2 years ago, we added our red candle as a symbol of our sadness over the loss of life in Gaza, with the hostilities that began in October of 23. No ceasefire has held for long, and we don't see willingness on either side to stop this horrible loss of life and the starvation and displacement of nearly 1 million Palestinians. We light this next candle in solidarity with all those in the U.S. being victimized because of the color of their skin, the language they speak, where they were born, who they love, what they believe. To know our country has never been perfect is one thing, but to fear for its survival is quite another. Our final candle is for all the joys and sorrows and concerns that have not been shared, that perhaps you're carrying in your heart and are held unspoken. Now, as we listen to the music, we will hear a recording from a past service when Paula Peace was our pianist. You are welcome to come forward and light your own candle of joy or concern, and Carla and I will assist you on the side. Feel free to come forward.
What if, when I offered to write about this service, I did so with the intention of sharing a reflection? What will happen if? Not just to talk about what we do, but about all the possibilities that we don't take. Those that scare us, that take us out of our comfort zone, that confront us with the unknown. Sometimes asking ourselves, this question can put us in a vulnerable positions? Yes, but it also can open doors that we never imagined. Cuando me ofrecí a escribir sobre este servicio, lo hice con la intención de compartir una reflexión. ¿Qué pasaría si? No para hablar solo de lo que hacemos, sino de todas esas posibilidades que no tomamos, esas que nos asustan, que nos sacan de lo cómodo, que nos enfrentan a lo desconocido. A veces, hacemos esta pregunta, puede ponernos en lugares vulnerables, sí, pero también puede abrirnos a puertas que nunca imaginamos. What if isn't just a question about what could be. And in the political and social context that we live in so many parts of the world, we understand that uncertainty has become part of everyday life. But within, that uncertainty also resides in something powerful: possibility. The possibility to create, to imagine something new, to act, to change. So I invite you to ask yourself this question honestly. Where are you today? What part of that what if do you live? Are you in nostalgia, in mourning, in sadness? Or are you in hope, in action, in the deep desire for real change, here and now? In my personal experience, asking myself this question has opened paths I never thought possible. What will happen if I try again? What would happen if I dare to speak, to share, to act? For some people, coming to speak in public is just that, speaking. But for others, that's a profound commitment. It's showing vulnerability in front of a community that we care about. It's opening our hearts and generating conversation. It's activism from the human side, from the imperfect, from the desire to build more than a just world. I had moments when I doubt. What if I'm not enough? What if I fail? What if I'm not on par with those who walk before me? But even with those questions, I decide to try, to take action. And that, and only that, is what I want to share with you today. Because we don't always have money to donate, but we do have time. We have skills. We have a heart. And we don't need to go far. Just let's look around us, our neighbors, our communities, our neighborhoods, and ask ourselves, what I can do here today with what I have. I want to share that part of my activism has been nourished by those who have spent decades showing struggle, memory, and dignity. People and associations like CEDESA. The surprise is going to be our speaker today as well, with Mercedes, who have worked for the indigenous people of this territory for 50 years. My participation is a small grain on sand compared what they have done. But that grain of sand also counts. Therefore, I don't want just to invite you to reflect. I invite you to take action. Don't freeze in fear. Don't be paralyzed by thought, but rather take action, even if it's small. Now I'm going to open a parenthesis. Yesterday I was talking with somebody telling me, I'm afraid to participate because sometimes I don't feel great, I don't feel healthy, I have concerns, I have family, I cannot accomplish everything. But unless you're an open heart surgeon, you don't have to do everything by yourself. So please take that in consideration. You're not going to disappoint anybody if you take an action, no matter how small it is, and you won't be alone. Because every action, starting from the local level, can have a global impact. This principle of thinking globally and acting locally, what Ronald Robertson called glocal, it's the heart of what I want to leave with you today. Yes, we must care about the world, and yes, we are all interconnected. But we must also be grateful for what we have. Be aware of our privileges and act from there. My action, a bit small, has a purpose: to leave a better world for my son, for the children of my friends, for generations to come. And one of the ways I do this is by supporting these organizations and defend the dignity, rights, and identity of those who has been historically ignored. Today, with humility and great respect, I want to introduce Mercedes, whom many of you already know. She's here to share about the space that seeks to restore the dignity of the people who inhabit this territory long before us. People whose voices has been silenced, those rights has been denied, and those beliefs that has been forgotten or repressed. And while many stare at the screens and are lost in the noise, there are people right here, right next to the next door, still waiting for justice. The invitation is simple. Let's look closely. Let's listen. Let's accompany. Let's act. Because not everybody has the privilege of expressing themselves freely. And if you do have it, use it for something bigger than yourself. Now, while Mercedes is sharing a little bit of CEDESA, I want to invite you to take the time to enjoy the presentation. And if some of you have a little bit of struggle with our accent in English, well, we are well aware that it's a challenge. Those in Zoom can download the document and can follow us. We are going to have subtitles as well, and if somebody needed printed, there's some also either English or Spanish. Feel free to fulfill the requirements in order to have this service useful for you. ¿Quieres impreso?
Sí. Pues, buenos días y gracias por invitarnos a su celebración y compartirles que están compañeras acompañando también el día de hoy, Graciela Martínez, que es del equipo fundador de CEDESA, y Norma Guerrero, que es compañera promotora. Están por allá atrás. Pues voy a compartir un poco de lo que estamos trabajando en CEDESA junto con las comunidades campesinas e indígenas de la región. El Centro de Desarrollo Agropecuario AC CEDESA fue fundada por fue fundada por el sacerdote Guillermo Dávalos. Es que en español. Gracias. Perdón. Fue fundada en 1965 por el sacerdote Guillermo Dávalos ante la necesidad de atender las comunidades campesinas en la región norte de Guanajuato, enfocando los trabajos sobre todo con los jóvenes de estas comunidades, con el objetivo de acompañar a las personas del campo para que se descubran como seres humanos plenos, con capacidades, limitaciones y todas las posibilidades de ser promotores de la construcción de sus propios proyectos de vida digna y sostenible, individual y colectivamente, creando sistemas de integralidad y autonomía. Junto con un equipo de jóvenes se buscó un espacio para realizar los trabajos de formación y capacitación donde se pudieran experimentar y practicar diferentes técnicas para apoyar el desarrollo integral de las comunidades. Este espacio se encuentra ubicado en la carretera al Llanito, kilómetro 1, en Dolores Hidalgo, Guanajuato, México. Contamos con espacios necesarios para el desarrollo de talleres enfocados en el trabajo del campo. Los trabajos iniciaron con la alfabetización para aprender a leer y escribir, la organización de las comunidades para luchar por tener un sistema de agua que antes se consideraba potable, la lucha por tener la tierra para producir alimentos. Con esta experiencia de trabajo surgen organizaciones con las comunidades campesinas y CEDESA desarrolla una propuesta de trabajo integral que nombramos Unidad de Producción Familiar y que integra 3 espacios: el traspatio para la producción de hortalizas, frutales y plantas medicinales, la parcela, que es la tierra para sembrar la milpa, y el monte para conservar la flora y fauna nativa y el desarrollo de la apicultura. Esto con la idea de producir alimentos sanos para el consumo de las familias, si tienen excedentes transformarlos y comercializarlos en mercados locales para apoyar la economía familiar. En 2008 nos enteramos de un grave problema en la región, que a partir de los estudios realizados por la UNAM, donde se identificaron altas concentraciones de minerales en el agua que antes se consideraba potable y que hoy daña la salud. Este problema se extiende en 7 municipios que nombramos Cuenca de la Independencia. Esto por el saqueo desmedido del agua subterránea y una mala gestión del agua. Ante esta situación, CEDESA, junto con las organizaciones comunitarias, se ha dado a la tarea de dar a conocer la problemática, hacer denuncias públicas por las afectaciones a la salud y buscar alternativas. Como la cosecha de lluvia en cisternas de ferrocemento para dejar de consumir el agua con altas concentraciones de minerales. Esta propuesta se ha apoyado ampliamente por el Club Rotario del Mediodía de San Miguel de Allende. Seguimos en esa lucha para hacer la difusión de estos temas. Contamos con una radio comunitaria, Radio Cuenca de la Independencia, la voz de tu comunidad. A la par, se sigue trabajando la producción en los 3 espacios, el traspatio, la parcela y el monte, enfrentando los desafíos de la variación climática ante las sequías intensas y las lluvias atípicas. Se están implementando nuevas técnicas para la producción en las parcelas, como la labranza de conservación, y se están desarrollando escuelas agroecológicas en diferentes comunidades para difundir estas prácticas, integrando a mujeres y jóvenes para que el campo siga siendo la opción de vida y revalorar las prácticas culturales y tradiciones. Este año cumplimos 60 años de proceso de vida, con varios retos por delante, como hacer frente a las situaciones sociales, económicas, políticas y ambientales actuales y que afectan la vida del campo de comunidades campesinas e indígenas de la Cuenca de la Independencia. Ante esto, estamos avanzando en conformar un equipo de defensa de derechos comunitarios a través de un taller de derechos, y estos trabajos se pueden desarrollar en las comunidades gracias al equipo promotor de CEDESA, y agradecemos a Unitarios Universalistas por apoyar el proceso de promotoría en la organización comunitaria del COSIRA, el Consejo Ciudadano Rural del Agua, en comunidades indígenas de San Miguel de Allende, y actualmente en la UCAN, la Unión de Comunidades Campesinas del Norte de Guanajuato. Pues gracias.
I want to thank you, Meche, and the compañeras that are here, because it's a challenge to expose yourself. And some people say that when we stand here, we can talk in public, but sometimes make us feel very vulnerable, and overcoming that in order to share what's happening in our neighborhood, in our community, in the place that we live and share. It's always important. And if I know that sometimes we speak very loud, very fast, and in another language. So if you're interested to go deeper and trying to connect the past service with this and the next one, I invite you to read our English and Spanish versions in either the email or they're going to be in our webpage, okay? During this time, we honor the generosity of our members and remember that every financial contribution not only means that we're having the security to cover our expenses as a vibrant UU fellowship, it also reminds us that you're investing your time and your resources with us. We're grateful for each peso in offering, each hour that you share by volunteering, and everything you bring to this fellowship. We're reminded that we share together in this living community. Your offerings will now be grateful receive.
Thank you, Carla, and gracias a Mercedes. Please rise as you're able and let's join our voices together in our final song, hymn number 121, We'll Build a Land. The words will be on the screen and they're in your hymnal as well. So let's sing this together and enjoy the music.
Where the oil of gladness dissolves
As we extinguish this childish flame, may the warmth of this light remind us within us, guiding our steps and our hearts. Let us carry forward the strength of this community, the courage to speak truth, and the hope that transformation is possible. In each breath we take, may we remember that we work for love, justice, and healing. It's ours to continue, both here and beyond these walls. Go in peace with the light of this gathering to illuminate your way. Please remain sitting for the postlude.
Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. No one goes unchanged. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold, 'cause that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many in life you can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds will fly. Comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds will fly. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. No one goes unchanged. Winter turns to spring. A wounded heart will heal, but never much too soon. Yes, everything must change. There are not many things in life you can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, hummingbirds will fly. Rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and music makes me cry.